massacre. Could you please be upstanding? May the souls of the departed rest in peace. Amen. Please be seated. The objects you see here today and the objects that were taken by road to Benin symbolize a long journey. The earliest calls for repatriation actually started from Oba Kenzwa II, as far back as the 1930s. This is not any one person's victory, or any agency, or any government, or any museum, but a series of efforts that predate us all, and a series of voices that have echoed through time to push us to where we are today. I'd like to thank our friends from the Netherlands for their understanding, for their cooperation, and for their willingness to do the right thing. I think that deserves a round of applause. Because the reality of the situation is we have many more Benin objects in other museums that haven't come home. And the fact that the Netherlands have set such a beautiful example to other museums in the world, we thank you. I would also love to thank my Honourable Minister for her guidance and her support throughout this entire process. A lot of the meetings we've had around the logistics and the planning, not just of the Netherlands return. We just had a meeting last week with the German ambassador, also about the bronzes in Germany, an extensive meeting. And I can assure everyone here that steps are being taken to ensure that as many of our objects come home as possible. So thank you, Honourable Minister. I'd also like to thank the supporting team behind the minister, the likes of Moriam, the likes of Roshan, that work tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure that things happen when they're meant to happen. I'd also like to give a special recognition to the German government. You may not be aware, but the German government have actually signed the transfer agreements for over 1,000 Benin bronzes back to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. What this means is that while the bronzes and the objects may still be in foreign shores, legally they belong to Nigeria. I think that deserves a round of applause, please. There's no way I can give my speech without thanking His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin. The Oba of Benin has placed his trust in the NCMM, in our ministry, and with our management agreement that we've signed, the whole narrative of what's going on with the bronzes, who do they go to, are they going to the NCMM, are they going to the ministry, all that has been completely squashed. The Oba of Benin and the NCMM are more aligned now than ever, and His Royal Majesty, to symbolize this alignment, has sent his daughter that will later on deliver his address to us all. The symbolism of today is something I'd like to touch on. Returned. I would implore you all not to just look at them as physical objects. These are embodiments of the spirit and identity of the people in which they were taken from. To other parts of the world, you may say these are artifacts, but to us, they carry deep spirituality, not just to Nigerians and the Benin people, but also to the practitioners of these spiritual objects have meaning, and the practitioners know deeply and the objects tell a story. So for us, to their rightful place, you're not just restoring something that was stolen, you're restoring the pride and dignity of the people they were taken from in the first place. And that's a long way in how those people not just view. Time has come where the perception of Africa as less, and I think now All we ask is that the world to the Ashanti king go a long way in connection, and that is we belong to the human race. We all bleed the same, we all die the same, we all have the same aspirations. The renewed hope agenda of Mr. President is something that, for us at the NCML, we approach it through the lens of renewed heritage. For us to renew hope, we must first look back at the past. Our heritage must be respected again. People must start to understand where they come from. People must start to appreciate where they come from so that they can tell their children the stories, and their children can tell their children, so that our ancestors, their efforts, and the things they live for don't get washed away in the sands of time. Even if Nigeria did not have a single museum, we would still be in our rightful place to demand for our objects back, because they belong to us. And I think one of the things we stress for returns is they must be unconditional. You cannot take something and give me conditions. The fact that they also agree that all returns must be unconditional. Ladies and gentlemen, I therefore welcome you to this historic occasion, and I thank you for taking the time to come here. And I pray that by the end of this, you all feel that you have indeed been a part of history. Thank you.
Indeed, the labor of our heroes past shall not be in vain. We are going to have a speech by, is a mouthful for me, I'll try to pronounce the name. De V. van de Werd. Got you right? Thank you. Ambassador for International Cultural Cooperation from the Netherlands. Ma, can we hear you? Thank you.
Dear Minister, dear DG Holloway, dear Princes, representatives of the Edo State Government, representatives of the Royal Palace, chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I would like to first start by thanking the National Museum for hosting us here today, as well as the National Commission for Museums and Monuments under the leadership of DG Holloway for organizing this transfer ceremony and for a great cooperation up until today. And it's a special day for us all, because we're here together to celebrate the return of 109 billion bronzes in independence at the Wereldmuseum as part of the collections of the state and of the municipality of Rotterdam. And it's an honor for me to be here on behalf of the Dutch government to assist in their physical transfer back to Nigeria. They now finally return to the country where they belong. The return of these bronzes, which were stolen in 1897 by the British, is a historical restoration of dignity. They were taken from the palaces of the Oba of Benin, who was sent into exile in 1897 and was deprived of so many of these objects at that time. In the years after the raid, many of the looted artifacts were sold at auctions and passed through art dealers. They attracted eager buyers across Europe, including Dutch museums, even though collectors were not exactly ignorant. It is best to view artifacts up close and to grasp the story of our ancestors. Ladies and gentlemen, the restitution today is the result of many years of Nigerian advocacy. And I would like to congratulate the NCML, the Royal Court of Benin, and the many Nigerian scholars and artists who have been at the forefront of efforts to reclaim this looted colonial heritage. Thank you. Thanks to your persistence, colonial collections are slowly changing around the world. And we really hope that will further contribute to that momentum. And I also want to sincerely thank the Wereldmuseum in the Netherlands, who worked hard for years to realize this. And they performed thorough provenance research that contributed to the return of these artifacts. And they will continue to be engaged, for instance, through the Benin Dialogue Group. I would also like to thank our Colonial Collections Committee and its chair, Lilian Gonzalez Hocanyu, who is also here with us today. The committee gives in-depth guidance to our minister, and it is thanks to their crystal clear advice that we are standing here together today. It is the Netherlands' intention to continue our dialogue with provenance countries of whom we have objects that belong to them in our collections in the Netherlands. We've been already working with Indonesia, with Sri Lanka and several other countries. We want to know what their wishes are for the return of their heritage, how we can collaborate and how we can do provenance research together. What we can learn from each other is a central question in this regard. And to do this is important to right the historical wrongs of the past, which is at the heart of our restitution policy. But what it also does is it brings us closer together as countries. In doing research together, we find out more about the different perspectives in our histories, and it adds to our mutual understanding of what it is that actually happened in the past. But it also gives us space for renewed collaboration, for exchange. And I can only share DJ Holloway's point of view. You said you hope that this restitution further inspires others to restitute their lost or stolen heritage from countries around the globe. Because it is quite clear that this process also brings us closer together. And that is the power of culture. And it fits with the friendship between Nigeria and the Netherlands. And our ongoing cultural exchange and collaboration between our two countries in the field of the arts, education, and heritage preservation. So it so happens that one of my favorite writers is Nigerian. Her name is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She's famous in the Netherlands. Her books are read by many. And I would like to end with a quote from her line of thought about the danger of a single story. And she says, "Many stories matter, and stories have been used to dispossess and to malign. But stories can also be used to empower and to humanize. Stories can break the dignity of a people, but stories can also repair that dignity." With these Benin bronzes now back home where they belong, in close cooperation with the Benin Royal Court as a custodian of Benin heritage and culture, and to be on display in different museums throughout Nigeria, it becomes possible for Nigerians, young and old, to get to know them better, to learn about their history, about the stories they tell, to be inspired and empowered by them, and to visit them and to give them a place in their Nigerian cultural identity, today as well as in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our culture, our identity. We are going to have another speech by Marieke van Boemer for the municipality of Rotterdam from Netherlands too.
Honourable Minister, distinguished guest, I stand on existing protocol. My name is Marieke van Bommel, Director General of the World Museum, and I'm together with my co-director, Professor Wayne Modest, sitting in the front row. And I'd like to thank you for allowing me a few words on behalf of the World Museum. We are so happy to be part of this historical moment. The World Museum hosts the largest collection of ethnographical objects in the Netherlands, objects from around all continents. And our mission is to inspire to world citizenship, to learn people about equality and justice. We in the museum see the museum as a classroom for learning, not throughout books, but through wonder and curiosity. Critical thinking, creativity, and intellectual understanding, intercultural understanding, can be activated within a museum. One can explore one's identity, and that is important. We are strongly committed as the World Museum to restitution. In the Dutch society today, it is still characterized by its colonial past. The history of families of 1 million Dutch people trails back to the Suriname, Indonesia, and other colonial countries. We hold those collections and those histories, and we realize that people in the countries of origin might not have ever seen them, and that deserves our attention. Today we celebrate the return of 119 Benin bronzes. And for us, it's said before, restitution is not just about objects or giving them back. It's about connecting, about working towards a joint future. And that's what happened this week. And allow me to give 2 examples, because the week has been so exciting for all of us of the Dutch delegation. Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock, we were standing in front of the storage facility in Benin City. We jointly stood there, the team of the World Museum and also the team of the National Museum of Benin. I was looking for the curator, but I can't find him. Just addressing to you. There was a lovely team of experts who unpacked the boxes, the crates that came in, looking what was there, seeing if everything was right, ticking off boxes, seeing that we brought everything, exchanging thoughts and expertise. And at that moment, I believed in that joint future. I thought in the future we can collaborate, learn from expertise that has been there in our both museums, and other museums I like to add. The other example would be of the meeting at the house of the Consul of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. We were allowed to talk to a few young Nigerian artists, artists working in film industry, animation, dancers working in festivals, the new generation in culture. And they talked to us about how they saw the future of Nigeria. And we asked them, what would you like us to represent Nigeria by? Since we haven't have this large collection anymore on display, we might want to think a little bit how we represent the Nigerian society. And they came up with ideas, which was lovely, because we believe that every child in the Netherlands should not only see Rembrandt's most famous Nachtwacht, but it should also know about the complex Nigerian history. It's only then that we can create world citizenship and that we can understand and grow towards a joint and just future. So, also on my behalf and on behalf of my team, I'd like to thank the Ministry. I'd like to thank DG Holloway and his team. I'd like to thank the Dutch Colonial Committee of Colonial Heritage and the Embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, because without all those people together and all the efforts they put in, especially last week, it has been exciting, we are here today. So, to conclude, I wish every Nigerian access to this wonderful collection, and I hope they are able to engage again and understand their own history and identity. I congratulate you all.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the government of Netherlands. We are now going to have the speech by Princess Ikuewuare. Maybe, Princess, please pardon me. I'm an Ondo girl, so I might not be able to pronounce your name, your last name properly. She's representing the Oba of Benin.
distinguished guests, DG NCMM, Mr. Holloway, representatives of the Netherlands, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I am Princess Mrs. Ikwayeme Ewai Amiwo. I am the eldest daughter to my father, the Oba of Benin. I am deeply grateful for this very historic opportunity to deliver my father's speech, and I read. From His Royal Majesty, Omonoba Nedo Ukwakolokpolo Ewai II, CFR, Oba of Benin, on the occasion of the official signing ceremony of the handover of the 119 Benin bronzes returned from the government of the Netherlands to the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the National Museum, Onikon, Lagos, on Saturday, the 21st of June, 2025. First of all, I thank the Almighty God and our royal ancestors for making this signing and handing over ceremony possible today. I thank the federal government of Nigeria, ably led by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his support and commitment towards the return of our looted artifacts. I thank the government of the Netherlands for deeming it fit to return the 119 artifacts. I also commend the team that escorted the artifacts to Nigeria and to the palace of the Oba of Benin. I thank the Edo State Governor, His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebolo, for his unflinching support and for restoring the Oba Kenzwa II Cultural Center to the palace, which will now be converted to the Benin Royal Museum. I also thank the Director General of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, here present, who is the federal government's representative, for working assiduously in line with the federal government's directives and in close cooperation with the Royal Court of the Benin as stated in the management agreement. The Royal Court of Benin is heavily indebted to the former President of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, whose administration ensured that the ownership of these artifacts was gazetted. His Excellency was not only a president, but a true friend of the Royal Court of Benin. We thank you, sir. I am very overwhelmed with this handing over ceremony because it has been the wish of my father and grandfather to ensure that all the looted Benin artifacts in 1897 were returned to the palace of the Oba of Benin. A few of the artifacts were returned a few years ago directly to my grandfather, His Royal Majesty Oba Kenzwa II, and my father, His Royal Majesty Oba Ediawa. With the Federal Government of Nigeria Official Gazette of 28th of March 2023, entrusting the ownership and custody of the artifacts on the Oba of Benin as the true owner and being the custodian of the cultural tradition as well as the heritage of Benin Kingdom and its people, the deliberate misinformation about the ownership of the artifact has been put to rest. I appreciate the efforts of the federal government through the Director General of the NCMM for ensuring that efforts are made to bring back our looted Benin artifacts across the globe. Ever since the 1897 incident of arson and looting of the artifacts by the British colonial forces, my people were demoralized from the traumatic experience, which severely compromised our psyche, morale, and dignity. My forefathers, Oba Eweka II, Oba Akenzwa II, and Oba Ediawa, worked tirelessly to restore the pride and identity of our people, pushing for a return of these artifacts. It would have been even more traumatic if these artifacts were successfully relooted. I even read somewhere that these artifacts came from somewhere else next to Benin, but not Benin City. By the grace of God, I am only following the footsteps of my forefathers. It is still work in progress. I also thank the members of the board of the trustees of the Benin Royal Museum for their unwavering commitments. We cannot appreciate enough a media guru, an industrious son of Edo land, who was very supportive in my campaign to stop these artifacts from being relooted. That media guru is no other than Prince Nduka Obagbana, the chairman stroke owner of the Arise TV and This Day newspaper. He was with me throughout. The Royal Court of Benin is truly indebted to you, Prince Obagbana. Prince Obagbana is also a prominent member of the Board of Trustees of the Benin Royal Museum. I thank my ancestors for standing by our efforts to bring these artifacts to the rightful place. I am glad that the signing and handing over ceremony is taking place today, even though the artifacts were brought to my palace a few days ago and presented to me before taking to storage with my blessing as requested by the DG and CMM, who has not reneged in expressing recognition of the ownership of these artifacts resting in the Oba of Benin. I urge the NCMM to keep up the good job and to further ensure that our artifacts through the federal government are returned to the Oba of Benin. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for finding time to be present at this epoch-making ceremony. All glory be to God Almighty, the great architect of the universe. Oba Atokbe. Thank you.
Oba Tokbe. Wagema Suiwani Edo national item. Ewa emeno ginigo. Obye kene madoyo. Ora de umodiana eo. Tuga Togbege. Oba Tokbe. Ise. Oba Tokbe. Ise. Enika oyawe Obama o. Tuga Togbege. Oba Tokbe.
trendybeats.com.
Princess, thank you very much, Ma, for that beautiful speech from the Oba of Benin, our royal father. I especially want to recognize the presence of the Oba of Lagos. The royal staff is here. And anywhere you see the royal staff, that is the presence of the Oba. So please pardon me. Pardon me, sirs. Because we live in Lagos. The museum is sited here in Lagos. So we should specially recognize the presence of the Oba of Lagos. Without wasting our time, now we want to invite to the podium our Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture and Tourism and the Creative Economy, Honorable Hannatu Musawa.
Good afternoon, everyone. DG NCMM, Mr. Holloway, the Ambassador for the International Cultural Cooperation from Netherlands, Mrs. Marieke van Boemel, I think I got that right, for the Municipality of Rotterdam from the Netherlands, and of course, Princess Uku, daughter of the Oba of Benin. I have to say, you are such an effervescing representation of the royalty of a heritage that will continue to transcend time. Thank you. Reverend White, Cap Chiefs from the Oba of Lagos, Reverend Chiefs from the ancient Benin Kingdom, and other very important dignitaries, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with profound gratitude and solemn pride that I address you on this very historic occasion. Today marks an extraordinary milestone in the journey of cultural restitution, partnership, and reconciliation as we gather here to formally acknowledge the handover of 119 Benin bronzes from the Kingdom of Netherlands to the people, the great people of Nigeria. As the Honorable Minister of Art, Culture, Tourism, the Creative Economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am deeply honored to stand before you to celebrate this momentous achievement and reflect upon its immense significance. From the very beginning, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this was his vision and this was his mission. He said that if nothing, you must bring back all the artifacts that belong to Nigeria. This is something that he was very passionate about, and I'm so grateful that I think the DG spoke about the sun coming out, but it's more significant than that. On a day that the whole of West Africa is gathered in Abuja to celebrate the greatness of being not only African, West African, it is quite intricate masterpieces that chronicled the history, customs, and aspirations of a very proud people. The return of 119 of these treasures is not just a restitution of items, it is a restitution of our dignity, of our identity, of our values, of our ideals, and the shared humanity that binds us as a people. Ladies and gentlemen, the significance of today is quite monumental globally for several reasons. First, the foremost, this handover represents the single largest physical repatriation of cultural property in Nigeria in our history. Let us pause, please, to consider the symbolic power of this number, 119. Each bronze carries with it a fragment of the story of our ancestors, our heritage, and our shared humanity. It is a testament to the resilience of a people whose history can no longer be told solely through the lens of loss, but through the narrative of recovery and hope for the future restoration and the future benefit of generations of Nigerians that need to not only know of the story, but to feel that they're part of the story and history that will continue to bind us as a people. This act of restitution by the Dutch government is not merely an exchange of ownership. It is a profound gesture of goodwill, cooperation, and shared commitment to justice and cultural preservation. It reflects an evolving global consciousness that recognizes not only the injustices of the past, but also the pressing need to address them in meaningful ways. I really want to thank the Netherlands government, because what you have done today really goes beyond just a mere gesture to Nigeria. This is a statement for the African people, and the hand of friendship the Netherlands has shown to us as a people is something that will be written in the annals of history. You have decided to be on the right side of history, to correct a history that is littered with pain and the souls of our forefathers. I thank you. And similarly, the Nigerian government agreement to return 1,130 Benin bronzes further underscores the growing international commitment to right historical wrongs and foster mutual respect and collaboration through cultural restitution. I hope this will encourage all members of the global community to understand that Nigeria needs to reclaim its history and its heritage. The return of these bronzes underscores the critical importance of heritage preservation and cultural promotion as central tenets of our national identity. As a nation rich in diversity and history, Nigeria's culture heritage serves as both a beacon of pride and cornerstone of our creative economy. We come from a beautiful country that is full of diversity. 240 different cultural expressions, very, very diverse. And part of the element that makes this country so great is that diversity. And within that diversity, that extra element that pushes us over the totem pole of being one of the greatest nations on earth is what the Benin Kingdom was able to contribute to this country in terms of its heritage and its cultural expression. This moment aligns seamlessly with our broader vision for the creative economy, where arts and culture form the bedrock of innovation, tourism, and international cooperation. The Benin bronzes will not only be a source of inspiration for artisans and historians, but also serve as a catalyst for the cultural tourism that enriches both our economy and our soul. Ladies and gentlemen, this repatriation is not an isolated act, but one firmly rooted in international framework and shared values. It is a shining example of the principle enshrined in the UNESCO 1970 Convention on the means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property. This landmark agreement recognizes the universal importance of cultural heritage and seeks to prevent its displacement and loss. The Kingdom of the Netherlands' decision to return these bronzes demonstrates an unwavering commitment to this convention and sets a benchmark for other nations and institutions to follow. It is a powerful reminder that cultural property, regardless of where it resides, must always be treated with respect, with care, and with an understanding of its origins and its significance. As we celebrate this milestone, let us also acknowledge that the journey of restitution is far from over. This is a first step. Many more treasures of Nigerian heritage remain scattered across the globe, awaiting their rightful return. This is a clarion call to the global community and other nations and institutions and private collectors to follow the example set by the Netherlands, to engage with us in dialogue, in peaceful dialogue, and to join us in this collective endeavor to heal the wounds of our history. Moreover, we must also take this moment to look inward as Nigerians. It is our responsibility to safeguard these treasures, to invest in the preservation of our museums and cultural institutions, and to educate future generations about the rich tapestry of heritage that defines us as a people. I promise you, we are very committed and gung-ho to ensure that whatever we do, as not only a government, but as a people, that will pass on initiatives to new governments and new governments, that whatever we do, we must do everything in the interest of the artifacts. In closing, allow me to extend my heartfelt gratitude again to the Dutch government, their representatives, the NCMM, and all those who have worked tirelessly to make this day a reality. Your commitment to justice, to cultural preservation, is an inspiration to us all. I also wish to thank the great and beautiful and dynamic and culturally traditional people of Benin and His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin Kingdom, who have been very patient and resilient, an unwavering belief that has brought us to this day of triumph. And I hope that every other part of Nigeria follows suit to ensure that we preserve the history that continues to make us the kaleidoscope of the world in terms of culture, tradition, ideal values, and culture, heritage. As we move forward together, let us see this as a moment not only of restitution, but reconciliation and renewal. It is a beacon of hope that reminds us that no matter how deep the divides of history, the bridges of understanding and cooperation can span them. Today, we do not simply return 119 treasures, we reclaim a part of ourselves. And in doing so, we reaffirm the enduring truth that culture is not a relic of the past, but a vibrant force that shapes our present and guides our future. And I want to again give kudos to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This was his vision, this was his commitment, this was his mission. The one thing that he wanted above and beyond all for the ministry to do was to deliver our artifacts back. And he is very committed and gung-ho in ensuring that this is the beginning of a beautiful journey and story of restoration for Nigeria. And I think Nigeria is very lucky to have a president that is so committed to ensuring that our history, heritage, culture, values, and ideals continue to be restored. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and may this day mark the beginning of an even brighter chapter in the history of our shared humanity. I thank you.
Now, the moment we are all waiting for, the official signing between the Honorable Minister of the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Economy, Honorable Hannatu Musawa, and Dutch representatives. The official signing ceremony will be done here on this table.
Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming
Welcome back.
Oh, yeah, man. How you?
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Back, welcome. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of coming home. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, I'm coming home.
Show me, Wanna vet. Wanna vet. Kassa. Kissy.
Mr. DJ, can you bring it down? Please, can we please listen to the photo opportunities? And this is the order. We are going to have the signatories first. The first set is the Honorable Minister and the representatives of the Dutch government. Signatories. The signatories first.
Signatories plus DG.
We are having the signatories first.
Yeah, that's it. I think the next one should be minister.
After this, we're having the Honorable Minister, DG Princess, and the Palace representatives. Please, Palace representatives, sirs, please can you join?
Can we move this?
Sorry, sir. I just want to stay here and take the artifact from this angle. Excuse me, please. Sorry, excuse me, please. Hey, don't block the artifact, I won't take it.
Please let the representatives of Oba of Lagos join the photo op. After this, we're having the directors of NCMM and the Dutch delegation with the Director General, Mr. Olubile Holloway. Please, can the coronation group get ready after this? Please, can the coronation group come join the DG? Coronation group. Then the directors of NCMM.
get short here, so that they can call the next person.
Coronation Group and NCMM directors. First, Coronation Group first. NCMM directors and Dutch them. Coronation, I thought they were there. Coronation Group now, please. NCMM directors and the Dutch representatives. Thank you very much.
Follow me now. So 6. Time for a cold beer. Yeah, very cold.
àsìkò ti tó ta ó sọ fún wọn káṣíwájú yìí làjẹ oníburúkú orí kádébìlà sórí kún ẹsẹ̀ oníburúkú orí kádébìlà sórí kún ẹsẹ̀ ẹnu wọn mẹ́fà ẹnu wọn méje àwọn fẹ́ ẹnu méjì ṣeré mọ́. Ọlá òní sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ wá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ tó bá ń pẹ́. Wọ́n yóò mi àtúnmí lẹ́nu débẹ̀. Mùsùlùmí ìwé gbogbo jọ mí, àlejò mi akọrin àpàlà. Túbẹ̀ ìjà òbí wá, ìgbéraga ń ṣe wọ́n. Babátúndé àrùn kan kò tẹnumọ́ lójoojúmọ́. Àwọn dà, wọn ò dájọ́ mọ́. Àwọn dà, wọn ò ní lọ́wọ́. Nínú ni ọmọ àjọ iṣẹ́ òkúta ní bá ti.
Fire.
Okay, Honorable Minister, congratulations.
Thank you.
For the 119 artifacts returned back to Nigeria from the Netherlands,
Yeah.
what's the significance of this? Because we know there are still other artifacts outside.
Yeah.
But this development, I can see that you've been, smiling and enjoying this moment.
Absolutely. I mean, for me as a Nigerian, this is a very profound moment. This is a moment in history. You know, the return of these artifacts means so much more than just the gesture of returning them. It's really restoring the history that was stolen from Nigeria. There was a lot of pain, a lot of loss that happened to our ancestors. You know, we talk about always Nigeria being a beautifully diverse country, and it's true. Every part of Nigeria has something unique to offer. But I think we have to acknowledge that there are aspects of us as a people that really makes Nigeria be the standout country that it is today. And we have to acknowledge that the Benin bronzes is part of that expression of not just culture, our heritage, I said of our values, of our ideals, of the pains of our ancestors. So, you know, the return of them for me as a Nigerian is watching history happen, a history that will be able to right the wrongs of the past, and history that can continue to empower our future. Is so profound, and it's a shining moment for me, you know, and a shining moment specifically for our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This was his commitment, this was his focus from the very beginning of putting this Ministry of Art, Culture and Creative Economy as it was then. One of the things he wanted was for us to be focused and quite aggressive and gung-ho in returning these artifacts. For many, many decades, Nigeria has spoken about our lost artifacts and returning them. But this is one president that has really put all the elements in place and given all the support for us, not only as a ministry, but the NCMM as well, and to empower us and to ensure that we have all the rudiments that will allow us to be able to return these artifacts back to where they belong, to the Benin Kingdom.
Okay, the artifacts are back, and we have them at the National Museum.
Yes.
So what next after this? Because we know, how do we transform this to, national development? How do we transform this to growing our economy and all that? The artifacts are back, yes. What next after this?
Well, what's next, first of all, is this is just a beginning. So we hope, and we've already signed an agreement with the German government to return well over 1,000 artifacts in the next couple of months, in the next month or so. So, this is one step, is to ensure that we don't stop here. This is just the beginning. We set a standard and a tone to ensure that, our artifacts in international communities, in private collections, are restored back to where they belong. That's the first one. The second one is us as an administration, as a people, to ensure that we put all the variables in place to protect the artifacts. So it's not about them coming back, it's to ensure that we protect them for the enjoyment of the future generation. So we are working on a very robust and intricate plan whereby we put the right kind of ecosystem and infrastructure in place that will be able to house not only the many artifacts that we hope to bring back before the next 2 years, but to ensure that when they're brought back, they're kept in a condition whereby many, many generations after this will be able to enjoy them. And then the return of the artifacts is somewhere where we want to create, again, that ecosystem that will boost tourism. This is our culture. This is our identity. Now that they're back at home, we do need to create the right, again, infrastructure that will be able to bring the international community that wants to enjoy the expression of being Nigerian, this aspect of expression of being Nigerian, to come and do tourism here. So when you talk about the tourism, that is going to add to the economic expansion, economic growth that we talk about, and also job creation. And at the same time, we are working on a number of initiatives that will be able to digitize them so that a wide array of people will be able to enjoy them. And as we do that, everything we do henceforth has to be monetized, because as we monetize them, then we have the better capability at preserving them. And as we monetize, we have the better capability to ensure that we open up all the structures that need for us to bring in the international community to enjoy them from a tourism perspective, from a domestic tourism perspective, and again from a cultural expansion perspective. Nigeria has to continue to be the greatest back nation on earth, and this is one of the ways that we're going to continue, that we continue to be the greatest back nation on earth, due to the vision, the commitment, and the vision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leader.
Yeah. I thought have you done the Director General yet?
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be panel discussions and press interviews on the side. Panel discussions.
Are we doing interviews? Minister's going. Let me walk her out and I'll come back to do it.
Alright.
Did you? Get my key?
Hello, there's an exhibition in the temporary exhibition hall.